Hello beautiful people, I welcome you back to my channel. This is Eke Nyami and this is my YouTube channel. I'm so excited you're here with me. Today we want to be talking about practical ways to submit to your husband. If you have been following me for a while on any of the social media platforms, you know that I am very emotional. I am very particular about submission because I believe that God gives us one commandment as wives, and the commandment is, wives, submit to your husband as the church submitted to Christ. We are not commanded to submit to our husbands as the church submitted to our pastors or our leaders or our reverend ministers, but to Christ. And that tells you how serious God takes the institution of marriage. When it comes to submission, as I said, I am very particular about submission. Before I go into it, let me tell you a story. I remember when I was doing my national service, I went to meet this lady. She was the HR officer. And then one day, I was supposed to close at 6. I left work at 15 minutes to 6. And this lady called me on phone and told me, you left work before time. Tomorrow you come and meet me here. And then when I got to work the following day, I was nearly given a written warning. In fact, I received a verbal warning actually. And then I sat down and I was like, okay, then I am not ever going to be late again because I don't want to get into problem at the workplace. So from there, I changed my things. Like I consciously decided not to be late because I wanted to obey her. I submitted to my bosses. Normally at the office, we submit to our bosses, like we do it freely, we do it naturally because that is where we are paid. But when we come home and our husband tells us something, that is where we want to show that I know my rights. You don't have every right to tell me that. You don't, my dear. This is a man you chose. And normally it's about the choice because you can't. How do you marry someone that you can't trust? How do you marry someone that you can't trust to submit to him? You don't trust his judgment, you don't trust his leadership, and so you find it very difficult to submit to him. Let me tell you a difference between submission and obedience. Obedience is when you don't have any option than to submit because this is the one who is giving you food, he's giving you shelter, he's giving you everything. And so you think that if you don't obey him, he's going to cut all those things. But submission is when you have every reason not to, but you still choose and decide to. Submission is when you give him authority over your life. Submission is when you say, my husband, whatever you say, I'll do. Because I believe that you will never say something that when I do, it will not end me well. That is submission. I found like lots of testimonies when I started talking about this submission on other social media platforms. A lady came to me and said, Auntie, I was the type, I was very angry. Like I get angry easily. Then when I started talking to you, I changed my ways. And then I was there, my husband woke me up and said, I should take his ATM card. Whenever I feel like buying something and he's not there, I should use it. Another lady came to me and her complaint was that her husband is not spending time with her children. He's always on his laptop. She has spoken to him severally and he's not changing. And so she doesn't know what to. She was so angry. I said, my dear, calm down. What does your husband do on his laptop? Work, right? Find ways that he can help him on his laptop. When he comes, if it's mails he's replying, help him to reply the mails. He said, Nancy, but his work that he's doing, I don't have any idea. I said, learn. Let him teach you. Like, do something. So she started. The husband came home and then she was like, honey, please let me help you reply some of your messages. The husband, okay, then I'm doing something. Read it to me. I'll explain it to you, then you reply it. And then she started helping the husband with work. So she realized that when the husband comes home, the husband will himself call her, my dear, come and help me do something. And before they realize they've done it, and before she realized, the husband is spending time with her kids. And the husband said, I'm trying to get this contract. And she said, when you get this contract, I'm going to take commission as a secretary. He said, you don't have any problem. She was there. The husband came and he was like, I've won the contract and this is your commission. And then she started, like, she sent me a message. She was so excited. I said, yes, my dear. Sometimes you are saying the same thing in different ways. But if you decide to change your plan and change your ways, the things that you will get it. So I just want to tell you why submitting to your husband is good, my dear. The first thing is that when you submit to him, you show him that you trust him. Marriage is supposed to be a mutual thing, and we cannot build marriage with no trust. So when you submit to your husband, you are showing him that you trust him. You are showing that you trust his judgment. You trust him to lead you into victory, and you trust that he will not do anything to hurt you. The next thing is that when you submit to him, you will influence each other. This is the case. This lady influenced her husband without even knowing, without even saying anything. She influenced him to spend time with her children, with their children, without even saying a word. So by submitting to your husband, my dear, you will influence each other without even knowing. And then when you submit to your husband, it prevents unnecessary conflicts, because you would have to change your ways as a woman. Things that you would be angry about, you will not be angry about. Things that you say it in a disrespectful manner, you will not say it in a disrespectful manner. Because if you say it in a rude manner, he might also respond to you, and this will bring you conflict that you could easily avoid. So submitting helps prevent unnecessary conflicts. And then believe you me, if you submit, your marriage will flourish, because you will always be happy. Submission is not for the man's benefit alone. Most women say that, what is it that he's doing for me that I should submit? My dear, believe you me, someone took an ATM card because of submission. Someone, you would be happy in your marriage. Your marriage will flourish. Both of you will understand each other. Both of you will be happy. Both of you will spend good quality time together. So now, how do you submit to your husband? The first thing is that let him take the lead. Sometimes when it comes to issues in our marriage, in our household, we the wives, we feel that our husbands are not up to the task, that our husbands cannot do it, and so we want to take things in our own hand. We want to do what we think it is best. My dear, you end up wearing the pants in your marriage, and you realize that you are taking most of the decisions, and you make the man feel that he's not needed. So when it seems that he's reluctant, leave him. Let him take the lead. Let him know that you trust his judgment, and so you believe that he'll take decisions that will be best for your home. Let your husband lead. The next thing is ask for his opinion. Whatever that you want to do, whatever that you are thinking about, honey, sweetheart, my darling, my husband, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? Ask for his opinion in everything that you do. Even if you have issues in your businesses, if you have issues in the office that you can discuss with him, ask for his opinion. The next point I have here is think of his needs. Most of the times as women, we think about ourselves. He should be taking care of me. He's the one who is supposed to be making time for me. He should be providing for me. And we forget to think about them. They are men. Because they don't talk, you think they don't have needs. Sometimes they are stressed. Sometimes they are going through tough times in the office. Sometimes financially. Relax. Think about his needs. Ask yourself, what is my husband going through at this time? How can I help him? What are some of the things he needs me to do? Please. If you've always been putting yourself first, you know that I'm the type that I preach about self-love. But don't forget that you have to love your neighbor as yourself. So don't love yourself and leave that of your neighbor and leave that of your husband. Think about his needs. The next point I have here is try not to criticize him or speak negatively of him. The last thing that you want to bring into your marriage is negative energy. And criticizing is a sure way to do that, my dear. It doesn't mean that you should never disagree with your husband. But when you disagree with him, there are ways that you have to talk about it. Why you don't do this? Why you don't eat that? Why? When you always criticize him, you make him feel that, is it that I can't do anything good? Is it that I can't do anything positive? And you as a wife, because you are always criticizing him, you forget about the positive things he's doing, and you forget to appreciate him for the positive things he's doing. And when you are always thinking about the negative, my dear, the law of attraction, you would always attract negative to you. I've done a video about the law of attraction. If you haven't watched that, I'll put a link of that video in the description of this one. When you finish, go and watch that. What are you thinking about? What are you concentrating about? You are always criticizing your husband, telling him the things he's not doing right, when you could focus on the things he's doing right and appreciate him for that, and discuss the things that you think is not going right with him. Sometimes you don't even have to discuss again. Sometimes you have to change your perceptions and some things that you do. Please stop criticizing him always and always concentrating on the negative part. The next thing is that be intimate frequently. My dear, let me tell you this story that someone told me. He said that there were this couple, they were fighting, like, and then the woman said, I can't marry again, I'm going. And then one day she decided to leave the marriage. She sat there and she's like, when I go to my father's house, there are lots of my brothers are there, they will take care of me. I have rooms in my father's house, I'll be okay. But who is going to have sex with me? And so she decided, no. When I go, no, I will not go. I'll stay in my marriage. So that night she was sleeping with her husband, and then she wanted to be intimate with her husband, but the husband was sleeping. And then she I don't know how to say this in English. I'm sorry if you don't understand Tree, but I want to speak into Tree. And see, Osha ni kunu boxer short na ni kunu eja pade na abeku enchensa. So the hand of prayer ni kunu eja pade say kojo ketwa, kojo kakraba, kojo penyi ni buefa, I was buefa. And then, so she was asking her husband's D that if her husband is angry, is the D also angry? And then before you realize, things happen. Sex, in fact, plays a major role in marriages. And then you can use sex to resolve conflict. So please be intimate frequently. If it is not sickness, my head is paining me, I'm not in the mood. When you do that, don't forget that the Bible has also said that immediately you marry, you do not hold authority over your body. And so that body is not for you again. It is for him, and his body is for you. So please, another practical way that you can use to submit is to be intimate with your partner, with your husband frequently. The next point I have here is talk to him about changes in your marriage. As human as we are, there might be time that there will be a few changes because we are growing, change of environment, other things. Maybe he got a new work, he got a new job, you started a new business, and there have been some changes in the relationship. Don't hesitate to sit down with him in a matured, respectful manner and talk it over with him. To jojo is better than to war, but find ways and means that you can get to him as your husband. Number 7, let go of control. Sometimes we want to control our men. We want to tell them when to come home. We want to tell them when to go out, when to spend time with their friends, when to sleep. No, leave him. He's a matured man. He knows what he's doing. If he's going wrong, he knows he's going wrong. You just have to draw his attention or talk to him, as I said, but don't let it be that you are controlling him. Where are you? Don't you know that it is late and you have to come home? No, if he doesn't come, my dear, what will you do? You can't do anything. So please, the next thing I have here is trying to actively undermine his authority. When you try to actively undermine his authority, you are just telling him that you don't trust his judgment, you don't trust his position as the head of the family. And ways that we do this is when they tell us to do something, we don't want to do it. When they try to make decisions, we try to counter those decisions. And when you do that, you are communicating to him that you don't trust him. You are communicating to him that he's not capable of being the leader in the house. And when you do that, my dear, it's going to make your husband frustrated, and he might not be the good leader that you want him to be. So please do not actively undermine his authority. The next point I have here is be receptive. Being receptive means that you are open to receive things from him, and it can be knowledge, it can be gifts, it can be help. When you are doing something, your husband offers to help, let him help. If he offers to give you ideas, receive it. Be open up. Don't say me, I'm idea, so I don't need you. No. My dear, everybody needs somebody. Be receptive if he really wants to help. And then another thing is communicate clearly. My dear, submission can be hard if you do not feel safe or seen or heard in your marriage. And this is why you must communicate your wants and your needs. Trust me, it is easier said than done. Sit him down, talk to him. I learned something from my mother-in-law. When I do something or there's something she wants to discuss with me, she will first of all go that I'm about to say something. If I don't say it, well, please forgive me. That is not my intention, but I have to say this. And then you go straight and say it, because you've already apologized before you say it. It tones down the stress, and then it makes him also receptive to listen to whatever that you are saying. And then in communicating, please address the issue. Attack the issue. Don't attack your husband. It is the actions. It is things that you expect him to do that you want to address. Why are you doing this? You're always fond of doing that. When you want to criticize him, it will not motivate him to do what you want him to do. So communicate clearly. Don't make assumptions. Don't make insinuations, my dear wives. And then, my dear, please be vulnerable, especially when it comes to my independent women. You don't want to be vulnerable. You want to be tough. You want to guard up because we've got everything. I can do everything, my dear. Vulnerable, open up to your husband, talk to him, maybe voice it out. Don't be so. Some of you have built walls in your marriages that you have built tough walls that you can't even open up and talk to your husband about things that you are going through. The next point I have here is ask for his guidance. If you want to take any major step in your life, ask for his guidance. Even small steps that you want to take, minor steps, ask for his guidance. Sweetheart, this is what I want to do. How do you think I should do it? If I do it this way, do you think it will help? Ask for his guidance. Let him guide you. Wisdom is not in one person's head, and so whatever it is you might need, sometimes we pass our husbands and go to our friends and ask them, what do you think I should do? Give me guidance, give me direction, give me steps. No, Talk to your husband, ask for his guidance. Let him also guide you in things that if you do will help you, will help your marriage, and will help your family as a whole. And then, my dear, do not compete with him. So this lady came to me. She was telling me a lot of things about her marriage, and I asked her, has your husband complained about anything that you are doing? And she said, my husband says I've been competing with him. And in a way, I would say that if care is not taken, when you want to compete with your husband, you might let him feel insecure. And she said, yeah, when I tell him to buy me something and he doesn't buy it because I can buy it for myself, I just go ahead and buy it for myself. If that thing is not so urgent, give him some time. Let's see, he might decide to buy it for you. So for instance, just a couple of days, I had a problem with my car. There was this particular part that I was supposed to buy, and I was having a problem with my phone. So I told my husband to send it to the guy in the market to buy it for me. And then the guy brought the price, and I told my husband, oh, he said it's this much. And he said, but you just told me to send it to him. You didn't tell me I'm the one who is going to pay for it. And I said, oh, but if you said it now, why don't you pay for it? He said, no, this one day. I was there, he came, he said, I've sent the money to the guy, and so he's buying it. If I had said, okay, then if you are not paying, I have money, I can pay myself, it will make him feel that I don't even need his help. And so please do not compete with him. Whatever it is, let him know that he's the leader. If you want to do something, go through him. It doesn't spoil anything, my dear, believe you me. It doesn't spoil anything. You will still get your husband happy, and you still get whatever that you want to do get done. But if you want to put him aside and do everything on your own, in a way, he will feel that you are competing with him as a wife. And then support him. Submission is also achieved through you supporting your husband. Support his ambitions, support his dreams and goals, support his decisions. Behind every successful husband is a supportive wife. So support should be a pillar of your marriage in both of you. You support him, he supports you. There's nothing greater to strengthen the friendship in your marriage than being the cheerleader to your spouse. So my dear, when you support your husband, not only will he support you, but you both grow closer to each other, and dreams you set for your lives individually and collectively as a married couple. So please support him. Everything that he wants to do, support him. The next point I have here is let your husband provide. No matter how much you are rich as a wife, let him provide though. And my but he can add them more. So if he's in a position, like not even if he's in a position, let him provide. If issues come and he's not in the position to provide, that one you can come in, you can support. But please let him be the provider in the house. Don't forget, he's being told to love us as Christ loved the church, and one way that Christ loved the church is to provide for us. So please, my dear, relax, so let him provide for you. The last thing I want to talk about is that please do not accept any form of abusive behavior. Yes, you are supposed to submit, but that doesn't mean that if he's abusing you, if he's beating you, you'll be there and you still accept it because yes, I mean submit, yes, I mean my dear. No, do not accept any form of abusive behavior. If he's abusing you and you need to separate, you need to separate. I'm not saying go and divorce. No, it takes a period of time for you to decide you are divorcing. But if there is any form of abuse, please do not accept it because we said you should submit. So by bringing this video to the end, just take note that submission is not a destination. It is a journey, and it only gets better as you practice it more. So improve your submission by practicing it every day with the little things that can make you better more and more. It will come more natural, and then you'll be more patient, and then you can undertake the submission journey. Start implementing these tips in your life so that you can become happier and enjoy your marriage. In the process, you will also maintain independence. Thank you so much for watching this video to the end. My name is Sequoia Nyamie. Kindly subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and I will see you in the next video. I love you so much. Nyamie Kaham.